Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class. Our textbook is Weekend 2, and today inshallah we will cover the third enrichment, Enrichments 3. And it will be presented by me, teacher Mazen Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Fawaz Al-Agil. So let's begin. So in this enrichment, we're going to cover the third unit, which is My Day, Animals, Places. And the first lesson we had in this unit was the talk time that can be seen on pages 18 and 19. Our goals in this lesson were that to build up, or our goal was to build up questions and answers about everyday activities. So the first thing we had, or we did listen to in this unit, which is the conversation between these two boys. So this conversation has questions about what this boy is a day activity or daily activities. For example, we start the question by listening to an interviewer who would say, "Tell me about your day. Tell me about your day." So each of us start his day by getting up. So the person or the boy say that I get up by or at 6 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock. And then what time do you eat lunch? This is the second activity that you ask for. What time do you eat lunch? He said at 2 o'clock. Then I do my homework. So here in the first conversation, we learn how to talk about two activities. The first thing, the activity about getting up by saying, I get up at 6 o'clock. And the second one about what time do we eat lunch, which is at 2 o'clock. And here there is another activity that the boy do and the same or at the same time, which is I do my homework. I do my homework. And after this, we had also other questions about activities, which are, do you watch TV in the evening? Do you watch TV in the evening? And also the other question, which is, what do you do on Saturday? The things that you usually do on Saturday. So here in this conversation, we did learn 4 important questions and sentences we use when we talk about activities, which is, tell me about your everyday activities, and also what time do you eat lunch, and do you watch TV in the evening, and also what do you do on Saturday. So all of these 4 questions or sentences that we can use when we ask someone about his or her activities. So after this, we said that it is important, if we want to know someone's activity, to ask them these questions so they can answer and they can talk about their activities, and we can reflect it on ourselves to talk about ours. We said that here in the grammar toolbox, we used our questions starting with do. And here we use do when we talk about activities. We start our question with do if we want to ask about activities. For example, do you play football on Saturday? Do you watch TV in the evening? Do you go to school by bus? Do you play games at home? So if you want to ask about activities, different kind of activities, we start our question with do. And usually, when we start our question with do, we usually have answers, 2 possible answers. The first one is, yes, I do, and the second one is, no, I don't. So these are 2 possible answers that we can use. Also, the second question, to talk about the time of the activity, which is here, for example, what time do you get up? What time do you get up? I get up at 6 o'clock. I get up at 6 o'clock. So here the question that starts with what time is a question about time. So here you need to mention, what time do you eat lunch? What time do you go to school? What time do you go to sleep? And what time do you get up? And finally, we can use it when we talk about all of these pronouns, I or you, we or they, when we talk about when do we get up. And after this, we did listen or answer this question, which is, what time is it? So here, as you can see, here we have 5 different times using 5 different kinds of clocks and watches. And all we have to do just to listen to the first time or first number we hear, and then we write the number 1. For example, the first number we did here in this exercise was, the time is 12. 12. So we went here and we write number 1. We went here, we write number 1 because this is the first thing we did here in this exercise. And after this, here we said, check school days in your country. So here we have 7 days from which are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So what we did in this exercise is that we go day by day, and if this day is a school day in our country, we put a check mark. So let's remind ourselves of how we did answer this exercise. So here we have in Sunday, is it a school day or not? It is a school day, so here we did put a check mark. What about Monday? Is it a school day? If the answer is yes, then we put a check mark. And what about Tuesday? Is it a school day? If it's yes, here we put a check mark. And Wednesday, is it a school day? Here we put a check mark. And then Thursday, is it a school day? Here we put a check mark. And what about Friday and Saturday? Are they school days? If the answer is no, then we'll leave them as they are and we don't put a check mark. And after this, in this lesson, we had an interesting exercise where here you have a table full of activities. And these activities are and questions about what time do you get up and what time do you go to school and where do you eat lunch and what time do you come home and also what do you do in the evening. And here you have these 2 columns. So you can ask your friend, what time do you get up, or on Saturday, for example. And when he says the answer, I go up or I get up at 7 o'clock, then you write his answer here. And you can write all of his or her answers here in this column. And then you can use the same table. You can switch rules by letting him or her ask you these questions about activities, and then you write your own answers here. And after this, we had the rhythms and sounds lesson on pages 20 and 21. And our goal was to chant and ask and talk about animal using can or can't. So here we did listen in this lesson about a chant that is called, what animal is it? So let's listen to this chant one more time. Listen, chant, and match. Its jaws are huge. They crush and chew. It can walk and swim. It can hunt for food. So we had different options about different animals, and we said that what kind of animal is it? It is, or it was, the crocodile. It was the crocodile. And let's listen now to the second part. Their skin is green, their eyes pop out, and they can jump and dive. They are loud and fun. And we have different examples of animals, and the answer was that it is a frog. It is a frog. So this is about this chant and how we did answer this chant. And after this, we had the second exercise, which is listen, point, and circle yes or no. So here we have in this exercise, we had 2 questions about each of these animals. And if the animal can do this thing, then we circle yes. And if they can't, we circle no. So here, for example, with ostriches, we ask ourselves, can they run? If the answer is yes, here we circle the answer yes. And if the answer is no, which is for the second question, can they fly? If the answer is no, here we circle no. And the same goes here with the kangaroos. We'll ask two questions. Can kangaroos fly? If the answer is no, here we do circle no. And let's ask the other question, which is, can they jump? If the answer is yes, then here we circle the word yes. Here we circle the word yes. The same goes here with polar bears. Can they swim? If the answer is yes, here we do circle yes. And with the second one, can they speak? If it's no, then here we circle no. Here we circle the answer no. So why is this important? Because answering these two questions help us to write down these sentences about what animals can and can't do. For example, ostriches can run, but they can't fly. Kangaroos can jump, but they can't swim. And also polar bears can swim, but they can't speak. So here we can write all of these sentences about what animals can or can't do. And after this, we did listen and chant about these sentences about different weather conditions. And we use these four terms: sunny, cloudy, rainy, and snowy. Let's listen to this chant for one more time. It's sunny and hot. Sit in the shade and talk. It's cloudy and gray. There is no sun today. It's rainy and wet. We are not there yet. It's snowy and cold. Don't catch a cold. It's cloudy and cool. Get out of the pool. So here how we did complete this chant, and we answered all of the questions. And after this, we said you can talk about weather in your town, like this girl when she says, it's sunny and very hot in summer. She talked about her town or her city, that how it's sunny and hot in the summer season. So you can use either autumn, spring, or winter to talk about the weather. And after this, we had the words lesson on pages 22 and 23. And our goal was to ask and talk about jobs. So here we did the listen and practice. And we did match words and pictures with about different jobs. So for example, let's listen to these jobs one more time. The first one is astronaut, architect, pilot, cook, computer technician, doctor, teacher, farmer, firefighter, and businessman. So we said that all of these different jobs are important, because when we want to ask and answer and make questions about these different jobs, we can ask someone to try to guess. For example, you and your partner, you can guess or have a job in your mind and ask him or her to guess what this job. And they will ask different questions like, does he work in an office? Is it an architect? And then they will give their final answer. And with the grammar toolbox, we said that to talk about jobs, we need to use this question. What does he do and what does she do? These two questions we use about jobs to know the kind of jobs. And we say to answer, she works in this place or he works in this place. So these are the questions and answer about jobs. And after this, we did listen and match to how to describe people. So we had to look at 4 different people, and also we did write their descriptions here in these sentences. Also, he said that this will help us to describe someone, maybe in your class or in your family members, by using the hair, the long hair, the brown eyes, describing the hair, the eyes, and also the clothes. And after this, we had the phonics lesson on pages 24 and 25, and our goal was to make the sound for EE and EA and the difference between that and those. So we had in the first lesson where we did listen to 3 different sounds, like for example, sleep, read, and head. We said that sometimes we have long vowels, and the last one we have a short vowel, as in head, bread. But with the other 2 we have longer one, like in read, meet, sleep, and sheep. And after this, we did learn how to use there is and there are. We said we use there is if we want to talk about one person. There is a man. And we use there are when we talk about more than one. For example, there are 3 men. And after this, we learned the difference between that and those. We use that for only one thing. And also we use those for more than one thing, like this, for example. They are tooth. And we did this with other examples when we talk about foot. That's a foot. And also those are feet. The same goes with mouse and mice. And the last thing we did is that to look at the town map and read this text to write the name of the places we can see here in the town map. And these were our answers. And also we did look at the pictures, and also we answered true or false with these type of sentences. So now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.